Welcome back to SwitchCorner. Today we're going to be taking a look at all my favourite deals across the Switch eShops, covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. Now this video, it is any price goes, so if you do want the cheaper side of things, check out Thursday's edition where I keep everything sub $10 or your local currency. Then I do have two $10 eShop gift card winners to announce as we go through today's video, and of course I have two more to give away. As always, it's simple. Drop a comment down below and winners they'll be announced in next week's video. So with that luck, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here, join our growing family, and let's get started. So first up, it's a great week, but there is a lot of deals, 17 of them in fact, so yeah, it's going to be a little quickfire. Also a fair few US exclusives as well, so if you do see them, you want them, but they're not available in your region, add them to the wish list, and hopefully we'll see those prices head your way very soon. So first up today then, a first time sale with the Hong Kong Massacre, somewhat a blend between Hotline Miami and John Woo All Out Action. It's an isometric shooter where you have just all sorts of like gun fu abilities, and the majority of your time here you'll be diving through the air like some badass, taking out enemies in slow motion. It has a few levels I will say where the design doesn't quite work, but otherwise I had a blast. I reviewed it here on the channel and I will link that in the pinned comment down below. 40% off though, it's a solid discount for a very recent release. So while I'm on new releases, then Golden Force is an old school like action adventure platformer, and you'll be a member of the legendary mercenaries Golden Force, set out here on an adventure though to take down a new evil and retake a mountain of gold. It's good stuff, it's challenging. You have 2-player co-op, 4 playable characters and 4 worlds to overcome. If you like your platformers though, it's well worth a look with this new all-time low of 36% off. So 2K Games, they're back at it again, dropping prices, and I want to talk about 2 titles. First, XCOM 2, it's matching its all-time low price of 70% off, and you're getting a lot of game here for your cash. Wouldn't be unreasonable here to sink well over 100 hours into this package of the base game and expansion. I always get the question though, how does it run on Switch? And it's not perfect, but honestly, it's not perfect on any platform. The frame rate with this version can definitely drop quite a bit at points. The graphics downgraded, but look, you know what? It's XCOM in the palm of your hands, and I am all about that. Then Borderlands Legendary Edition, and this one we are seeing a new all-time low price. You can buy them separately, but this is by far the best discount as it's now dropped to 60% off, and it brings together some of the best looter shooter first-person experiences out there, and it's bundling in Borderlands, Borderlands 2, and then the pre-sequel as well. There's also a ton of DLC in here on top of that. It's a blast though, especially if you play co-op, either 2-player local or 4-player online, and like XCOM, you're getting a lot of game for your cash. So here's a big one, Gods Will Fall is here with a new all-time low at 25% off. Now, not a huge discount, but again, look, it's a really new game, this one, and I picked it up at release, had a blast, never did make a video on it, honestly, just kind of, you know, sat back and actually enjoyed it. But here you're controlling an army of Celtic warriors and you're taking down gods in combat. I really like the variety with each of your warriors, though it forces you to learn each of their individual abilities, and it's a roguelike as well, so at that point you really know already if it's gonna be for you. So we'll bundle these next 3 then. If you like your retro RPGs, we've got Dragon's Quest 1, 2 and 3 all on sale for 30% off each from Square Enix. RPG fans, these are obviously for you if you want to see the series' roots. These are a nice place to head. The upscaled resolution, it's absolutely appreciated, honestly. And while I wish they'd done maybe a little bit more with them, you know, extras, all that good stuff, they are still like fun to check out and revisit. I'll keep it at that, could talk for hours about these, but maybe I'd say check out some standalone reviews first, just get a good picture of what each entry is about and the stories they tell. So yeah, CLOUDPUNK, and this will probably be a controversial pick, but you know, as ports go, it's not the strongest of work. The visual downgrade is real, the frame rate rocky at best, and it loses just a lot of the atmosphere due to the power loss that made this entry, you know, loved. I played it though, I reviewed it, I still found quite a bit to like, and I know a lot out there were interested, so maybe this new all-time low with 40% off will be enough for you to take a risk. Just don't come here looking for action. It's very much a story-driven experience, all around basically, you know, exploring this world. But yeah, it's definitely got its problems, but it is at least a pretty sizable discount. Before our first winner then, a quick self-plug here. We've launched a SwitchCorner Twitch, as we've mentioned now a few times. If you haven't joined us already though, we stream there every night, well, nearly every night, Monday through Friday, and we just broke 600 followers, so thank you all so much for that support. This week though, Friday, we'll be starting our journey on Monster Hunter Rise. We're complete and like 100% noobs at this, that is for sure. So if you do want to help or maybe learn with us, come swing by, give us some tips, because even the demo honestly crushed me. With that though, let's get on to our first winner, and this week the first code, it's going to JustFreya2000, who highlighted Hatsune Miku for being a great rhythm game, and I absolutely agree. Awesome time if rhythm games are your thing that you maybe should, check out. Congrats though, Jess. Drop me an email to claim your code, and everyone else, of course, there is a second winner still coming up later in this video. Alright, so another bundle then. Capcom, they have another sale running. To be honest, this sale is on all the time at this point, but it's been a little while since I've talked about it. So let's give 3 games a quick shout out. So first, ONIMUSHA. Well, it's one of my personal favourite games of the PS2 generation. Basically, think Resident Evil in a samurai setting, and it's just stunning. With a couple control options here as well, the old school tank-like and more modern and refined. It's a great story, stunning world, good combat, and I just love exploring it. To be honest as well, you've got to like your old school style of gameplay, but if you do, it's well worth a look. Either way though, you can't go wrong at 60% off. Then Capcom have OKAMI HD, a masterpiece of a game. It got cult success at launch. For sure now though, it's surpassed that. It's absolutely a classic. It's basically a Zelda-like experience, but really for many stands out is the stunning art style and the creative gameplay that includes this celestial brush. This one's going to be best experienced, in my opinion, in handheld though, where touchscreen controls, they are fully implemented and they just absolutely add to the experience. 50% off though, but it's easily worth honestly more than full price. The last of the Capcom titles then, a quick shout out for Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. Kingdoms of Amalur dropped this week, and this I've got to say is a solid alternative. It's a more open world experience for me with just fantastic combat and class systems. I think personally it's slightly more challenging as well honestly, but this was an underappreciated gem that any Kingdoms fan honestly should be checking out as well. It's also another one with 50% off, and you'll easily get your money's worth with this one because there's just a ton of content and a huge world to explore. My pickups of the week then, meaning I can't, necessarily recommend them, but maybe you want to join me for the ride, and I'm actually grabbing 2. The first is TOUHOU Lunar Nights. From what I understand, it's a fan-made game set in that Touhou universe. That's a game series that basically, or typically, is a bullet hell experience. Here, they're taking those characters and then throwing them into a Metroidvania world. Can't find a huge amount about it, honestly, online, but the few reviews I have found were solid, and it's all set around this world of vampires. 20% off though, it's not a huge discount, but it was enough for me to take the risk. Then this one just passed me by completely. I actually spotted it today on the eShop. It's called Unreal Life. I can only find one review online. The opinion seems high though, quoting this surprisingly touching story, but then there's a decent chunk of extremely positive Steam reviews as well. It wasn't even actually released in the UK, EU or Australia, so you'll need to region hop if you do want to check it out, but I love the pixel art style they've got going on. And the premise sounds, let's say, different. A young girl loses her memory and she's out to find someone with the assistance of a penguin and a talking traffic light. The description was weird enough to get me on board though, alongside the 30% discount. Before our second winner of the week then, mystery fans, Agatha Christie, The ABC Murders. I grabbed it on the last sale after checking out SwitchUp's review, which I will link below, but basically from what I understand it's far from perfect but decent, and that's kind of how I walked away feeling as well. This is a solid 35% off though at this point, so yes, it's an acquired taste, but if you like your mystery adventures, I enjoyed it, maybe you will too. A little slow in the pacing at the beginning, but if you like something, reminiscent of a point and click experience, this may be worth a look. So our second winner of the week then, that is Samantha Cassiano, who just shouted out that they really enjoy the videos, and I really appreciate the comments. Thanks to everyone out there honestly who supports the videos each and every day as they go live. It means a whole lot to me and I wouldn't be doing it without you. Drop me an email though, Samantha, to claim your code, and everyone else, as always, drop that comment down below for your chance to win in next week's video. So our penultimate game of the week then, Shinsekai Into the Depths, is a great Metroidvania that separates itself from the typical experience with a unique setting. It's this underwater world which it leverages for really interesting movement. You can obviously go vertical as well as side to side. It adds tension, then we're constantly depleting oxygen, and on top of that it even has this badass submarine for you to control. I thought the whole idea was just intriguing, honestly, and it stuck with me long after I beat it. It's one I grabbed personally on release day. It was one of these surprise drops at a direct, and I can easily recommend it with 25% off. Our final game of the week then, easy choice, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is back on sale with 20% off. This is a new all-time low. It's a classic of the beat 'em up genre at this point, but yeah, solid controls, multiple characters to control, some brutal difficulty if you dial it up, and it just captures the spirit of the source material. Also, I do want to say, look, the soundtrack by Anna Managuchi, incredible, worth a listen even if you don't pick up the game. It's on like Spotify and stuff, especially if you like your chiptune. And that's it, another week down. Will you be adding anything to the collection this week, or are you holding onto that cash and giving the deals, you know, just a pass, giving your library a little bit of breather, maybe working on the backlog? I think there's a few big tempting ones though this week, especially for all-time sales, but I'm over here literally just kind of biding my time now, waiting for Monster Hunter Rise later in the week. With that though, like a shout out then to the patrons of the channel who are just going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. If you do want to check that out for yourself, I have linked it in the video description down below. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.